I don't know. I don't know who's out here, but it's nighttime. Let's turn this off. What do we got? Oh, it might be better. Mm-hmm. Good morning, Vietnam. I got some glare in my glasses right now. It's because it's late and a man of my age needs to take his contacts out and put his 4 eyes in. I got Lamont Ellis in the house. Lamont, where are you from? I don't know if I've seen your name recently, but salute to you, brother. Great to have you. We're talking about, well, just rambling tonight, really. Hypergamy, female nature, men's issues, getting through life. See if I got a little bit of this might be better. This is more for the European guys. Oh, Georgia. Nice. You're past midnight, brother. Tell me about Georgia. What's Georgia like? What are the ladies like in Georgia? So that's where we're at. Let's talk about hypergamy. Let's talk about men's issues. Let's talk about moving forward. How can we be better? Right? Word life in the house. Chase excellence. Damn right. If you don't chase excellence, what are you going to chase? That's the reality. You got to chase something. I got too much glare coming on my glasses. It don't look good. Let's see if I come closer. That might work. Crazy women in Georgia. I've been to Alpharetta. I've been out to Perry. I've been, what's the other place? Can't remember. Closer to the western side of the state. Mighty Spirit finally caught me. Mighty Spirit, where are you at, brother? Where's Mighty Spirit from? I figured I'd do this for all the European guys that, when I do typically live streams, they're early in the day. And those guys, it's like midnight, 1 in the morning that they pop up. So maybe we'll get some experiences and some guys from Europe popping in. But good to have you, Mighty Spirit. Good to have Lamont, Word Life, Alpharetta. It's the best part. It was nice when I was there. Been to Buckhead. I used to fly into Atlanta, and then I'd drive to Chattanooga because it was 90 miles. It was faster to fly in than to fly to Chattanooga because I would have to fly to West Virginia and then, circle back to Chattanooga. So I stayed in Atlanta for that. Currently in India. What are the women like in India, Mighty Spirit? How are Indian women? I always thought that Indian women are much better in reality just because of the culture, the religion, how they look. But I'm hearing that Indian women are also divorcing, not loyal. Let me know if that's true. Let me know if that's true. So let's talk about hypergamy. Hypergamy, guys, is something that is inherent in the majority of women. There's nothing you can do about it. A woman will continue to look for the better, bigger option. It's been done to celebrities. It's been done to athletes. It's been done to world figures. Okay? I'm not saying all women. I'm saying 98%. There's a 1 to 2% that I definitely give credence to, but they're difficult to find. And if you do find them, they're rare to find, especially past, like, I would say 35, 40, because they're married. They love their guys. So there you go. I got Denz Dorado. Hey, may I know why is my ex profile is flashing on my friend's suggestion on Facebook? It's probably the algorithm, my brother. Where are you from, Denz? Lisa Smith, you're up in Kansas City. It's 11:17. I think you're Central Time. Good to have you, Lisa. Lisa's always a great contributor. So tonight I was watching Squid Games. It's that Netflix Korean TV show, which is pretty cool. Different, but check it out. McDowell Cowboy in the house. McDowell Cowboy, guys, check his channel out. He makes great content. He's been putting out a lot of content lately. I subscribe to all my subscribers, so I check everybody out. Shout out to you, brother. Shout out to everyone that makes content. And we're not here to bash, and that seems to be an issue with a lot of content creators. I'm not here to bash. I'm here to understand and to navigate life by that understanding. And once I've understood it, my life got better. It's as simple as that. Shout out to you, brother, McDowell Cowboy. CM Punk, hey, Rad, did you ever get that impending sense of doom feeling? It's like anxiety. Well, I think anxiety, this is, if you want to hear my deal, anxiety is something that is a validation piece. Okay. To me, it's a sense of my son has an anxiety. It has to do with technology and screens for the most part. And it also has to feel there's a validation piece in it that you have to be validated by others. And you might not get that validation on the screen. And a lot of guys today, I don't know how old you are, they seek validation. And if they don't get it from a screen or a TikTok or an Instagram, they don't feel anxiety. I think anxiety is a symptom. And so the best thing you can do is work on yourself. Anxiety was not around. It probably, when I was in high school, I don't even think anxiety existed where it exists today. And so I think a lot of that has to do with social media, screens, technology. And the best thing that you can do to combat anxiety is to sit with yourself and be with yourself. That's it. Because what they do is they'll prescribe medication, but medication just numbs everything. Medication doesn't solve anything. It just numbs it. So the best way you can get through it is to be by yourself. Simple as that. Great comment, CM Punk. I don't know where you're from. Denz Dorado from Philippines. Good to have you, brother. I've had some great Filipino food. I had a friend that was from Philippines. I loved it. It was like a fried rice with some chicken. It was delicious. Mighty Spirit, traditional relationships continue to exist. Divorce rate was and is still pretty low, but what I see is that slowly things are worsening as social media is getting more and more prevalent. Yep. I've said it all along, guys, the world is flat. The internet has made everything flat. There is no such thing as a hidden corner of the world that does not experience Western technology. It's really sad if you think about it. And you know what? I have experience because I have children that are, I have two that are in their 20s, and I have one that's almost out of high school. I see it on a daily basis. I've seen it, what it does to them. They can't talk. They can't. And I told my youngest son this. I said, he's a junior. I said, you have an advantage if you can learn to speak with people, especially people older than you. If you know how to speak and to structure sentences, you're going to be way ahead of everybody else. But you're right, Mighty Spirit. Does my ex-girlfriend want me back with her? They always come back, brother. Don't take her back. Your plan, at this point, you're plan D. Women always come back. They always come back. You don't want to be plan B. You're plan A. She left you for somebody else, which means your plan A went to plan G. You're not. No, you're done with it. Never take an ex back. Watch my video on that. Jeremy Bailey, all the way from the UK, brother. Early Sunday morning. That's why I'm doing it tonight. Late at night. I got to stay up for the youngster to get home at midnight. And so I figured, what the hell? I'll listen to some music. Hang out. Listen to the greatest music from the UK, Jeremy, the Cult, the Smiths, the Cure, Sulk, Motorhead, Def Leppard. Who else? British Sea Power. Richard Ashcroft, The Verve. Oh, best music comes from the UK. How to hurt the ego of a girl that is playing games. You know what you do, SH? Silence. Attention is your currency. If you respond to her, she wins. If you don't, you win. I just saved you $1,000 from a PUA coach. Pablo de Gregori Oficial, cardio really helps with anxiety, sweating instead of medication. Well said, brother. Well said. Move your energy. I am a huge proponent of moving your body. If you're sad, upset, depressed, frustrated, get the hell out of your house. Walk, run, ride your bike, hike, move energy, whatever you can do. Go to the gym. Go to a new place. Energy, when you move energy, it shifts everything. And you know what? The doctors don't even talk about that. They want to put you on a damn medication. Good for you, Pablo. Anxiety and depression is the best driver to better yourself and change things in your life. You shouldn't numb that with medication. Well said, brother. Well said. But we live in a world that constantly wants to medicate. Like there's some goddamn fix. Fuck that. Have you ever heard of Coach Corey Wayne? And if so, what do you think of his content? Yes, I used to watch Coach Corey Wayne. I think it's great. I think he's got good content. He's more about thinking that women, he has good truths. But at the end of the day, I believe that 98% of women are not recommended. That's my personal opinion and belief. There's a 1 to 2% that are, and they're extremely rare to find. And I think a lot of coaches don't take into consideration the attention, validation that these women get. Hundreds and hundreds. It doesn't matter if they're fat, ugly, tall, skinny. They get so much attention. So that's my only beef with PUA coaches. But I do like some of his stuff, sure. I'm from Detroit, Rat. I'm 21, so as you know, it's like so different. I talked to my brother, and he said people used to engage more. Yeah, I got a son that's your age, brother. So you're young, and you're learning this. Man, you are way ahead of the game. Way ahead of the game. If I was 21 again, and I got in a time machine, you know what I'd do? I'd make as much money as possible. If a woman entered my life, great. I would never seek them at that age. And I would learn skills and hobbies. And by the time you're 35, when you've got a huge egg sitting in your bank account and you've worked on yourself and you don't need anyone, you're in the best position. You're in pole position. So do that. Don't go seek some woman. At 21, who are you going to get? That 18-year-old girl that you like, she's got 1,000 guys after her. It's not your fault. It's just reality. When you know reality, you have the cheat code to life. Simple as that. And we're giving it to you. So guess what? The next 9 years is going to be tough for you. Girlfriends, being with women, potential marriage. Work on yourself. Simple as that. When I was your age, different story. But you're going to be fine. Jay Oluwa, what's up, brother? Just work, listening to you, reading comments from the Minute Chat. Keep grafting. Lads, masculinity is our superpower. Acceptance and understanding who we are is our superpower. 100%, brother. Good to have you in the chat. Always a pleasure to see you. Absolutely, brother. Listen to Lisa. Ignore that chick, right? That's what I said. Remove your attention, gain her attention. Now, if she doesn't come back, you're done. Move on. There's tons of women out there. Do I tell my boys, the guys that listen to me, to go seek women? No, I don't. I say seek their excellence first. And if a woman pops into your life, entertain her, if you so be it. You're the captain of the plane. You decide who gets to ride on your plane and for how long. It's as simple as that. So if you want somebody in your life and you want her to ride on your plane, you get to decide that. But remember who's the pilot. You are. And her husband is telling me why I viewed her profile and her father is viewing me. Don't worry about it. It's just stupid games. I would go completely radio silent. Where should I invest, man, with 10,000 PHP in Philippines? Well, as Warren Buffett says, one of the greatest investors of all time, invest in things that people buy. Coca-Cola, rice, cheese, meat, and rental cars, airplane stocks, hotel stocks, things that people will continue to buy. You'll get, and we'll ask Carl. Carl just dumped in the chat, 10 to 12%, maybe 15%. You're not going to get rich. You're not going to like put, if you put $10,000 down or 10,000 whatever Filipino, I don't know what you guys have over there, Philippine reals. If you put Philippine into something, just expect a 10 to 12% return. That's great, because guess what? Savings accounts are paying how much? Not even 1%. And over time, that 10,000 will turn into 100,000. So there's no quick fix when it comes to reality. Even if you're trying to flip houses, and I don't know if you flip houses in the Philippines, but in the U.S., you can buy a fixer-upper for $300, put 50 grand into it, and then drop it for $425. You make 75 grand, have to pay everything. It might take you 3 months. You're not making hundreds and thousands of dollars. And it's decent. It's good money, but, understand there's no quick fix. SH, thanks. I'm on 65 days of semen retention. It changed my life. Wow, good for you. I can work 15 hours a day, zero anxiety, self-confidence. Weird stuff is that I'm not anywhere interested in girl. And they come, well, you put yourself first. When you put a woman ahead of you, you suffer. Now you've put everything in front line and center for your life, and you're excelling. That's what we talk about. Never put a woman center. If a woman enters your life, she should be a complement, a co-pilot. It's really that simple. Carl's in the house, the big man from the East Coast. Did you guys hear Mira calling into Kevin Samuels' show the other night? I didn't, but she called into Greg Adams' show yesterday. She is spouting all these red pill truths she learned from Greg's channel before leaving to get validation elsewhere. You know what's funny about Mira? I've watched a lot of her calls and I've seen a lot of her comments. How come she's not married? She looks like an attractive gal if that's her on her little icon, but how come she's not married? The damnedest thing. Good to have you, Carl. Mighty Spirit. Also try going out to Nature Brothers when you feel depressed and anxious. Outdoors have great. Absolutely. Guys, I ride my mountain bike. I do the things that I need to do to be by myself. It is so cathartic. Please get out. Do the things you need to do to move your energy. Get through the programming. The programming says you need to be around people to feel validated. That's not right. That's not right. Torres, grown up, what did you do when you were bored? Men first. Brother, good to have you. Tell me where you're from. I was a big skateboarder in high school. We didn't have technology. This was 86, 87, 88. Listened to a lot of music. Had a girlfriend. Actually had a couple girlfriends, but I had one girlfriend in particular. It was a different world back then. That world versus today doesn't exist. So if I was in a world and I was 21, 22, 23 today, I'd get a mountain bike, I'd go to the gym, I'd work on myself, and I'd learn how to make as much money as I could. Read and read good books. Read some of the great works of Mice and Men, The Grapes of Wrath. Just read classics. Educate yourself. Understand how life works. Understand the economic banking system, how the banks actually work. Understand those things. The more intelligence you have, the better your life will be. If you have access to US ETFs, I'd buy VTI. Good. And if you're young, dump it in by dollar cost averaging over 6 months. Hold it from then on. Carl giving some great advice, guys. Listen to Carl. He knows what up. Love it. Love to hear Carl's advice on investing. The only way to get rich quick is to sell crack. Lots. MGTOW cowboy laying it down in Chinatown. I would agree with that, but then you're 10 seconds away from life in prison. If a woman will only see you if you're perfect, then they're a horrible person that will ditch you easily. We the people. I think you just summed it up, brother. I didn't have to say it. You did it. You're right. Why do we suffer? And Rad at one point was like that with my ex-wife. I have the experience. I was married for 2 decades. I have 3 kids. I went through divorce court. I went through allegations. The Popo called on me. I've been through everything that you can think of. And, I had some investment memories, kids. We lived in 3 different states, bought 4 different houses. I had all of the things. But you have to look at the fantasy versus reality. The reality is that woman that you're in love with goes home every night, takes her makeup off, does not look the same. Think about that. She sits on the toilet just like you. Okay? Women should be co-pilots to men. If they're loyal and faithful, great. But most aren't. We the people. He's on like Donkey Kong. Park Ridge, I just came from a restaurant. A girl left a man that he was dating for 3 weeks. She went to the restroom. Oh, geez. What would you call that? Physical ghosting? Disappearance? Interesting. Mira is another entitled, delusional woman. Her calls with Gregory were hysterical. And now she's got Coach Greg Adams all crazed up. That's the crazy thing. He's actually referencing her by name. She called into him on yesterday, Friday afternoon's live stream. Check it out. I've been working on other parts of my health. I've been fasting to lose weight, and I heard on your other stream how it's beneficial. Oh, CM Punk, fasting is the best thing you can do for your life. If you can go 48 hours on a water fast, then eat a meal, then do another 48, you'll drop your weight in 2 months, all of it. Good for you. Fasting is wonderful for physical, spiritual, mental, emotional, and it saves you money if you think about it. Schwab, Vanguard, Fidelity handles pesos. Yeah, I don't know much about I don't even know. Do they have a stock market over in the Philippines? I'm sure they do. One Fast Dak in the house. Good to see you, brother. Check out One Fast Dak's channel, MGTOW Cowboys channel. He's growing. He's got great content. And we're here to help other men navigate life by understanding female nature. We don't hate females. Females are wonderful, but we decide how we allow females into our life based on a new awareness. It's as simple as that. That's Rad's version of MGTOW. A man going his own way decides how he's going to live. How can, people, hey, Rad, he says you can go out and date gals and hang out. Sure, why not? Sure. But deal with them on your own schedule and how you want to deal with them. Understand the risks and the rewards. I have 3 sisters. I have a mother. I have a daughter. I work with women. I have neighbors that are women that watch my house when I go traveling. What am I going to do? All of a sudden stop talking? Come on. That's not realistic. Not for me, it isn't. I decide how I deal with them. This internet era got stuck got guys stuck at home and they just watch prawn and do things they should not do. Well, laziness, right? It's easy to flip up a screen to take away your. What's the biggest? What are the great powers to be? What do they want to do to society? Distraction. You know what distraction is? Reality television, music that's the same, prawn, everything accessible, easy. The hard things are what they don't want you to do. Getting out, nature, doing the things you need to do. Thinking is the enemy to them. If you think, you're the enemy. They don't want you to think. But how will I convert the pesos I'm not sure about that. Cool, Rad, just trying to understand female nature. One last question. If you're seeing a girl and you're not exclusive with her and she starts flake but want to... If that was me, I would never talk to her again. Disappear, brother. She's playing with it's manipulation. You don't deal with that. That's the biggest red flag ever, if she flakes. Never, ever deal with that. Stay Strong's in the house. Hey, Rad McTow. It's Sunday afternoon in Australia. Good to see you, brother. I'm so glad I caught you. That's why I did it tonight. Hypergamy is alive and well down under. I went out. I don't know if you've heard my live stream, but I did date an Australian. We went on 4 dates. She was a cool chick, but she was different. And then, obviously there was, and in the end, I bounced. But how are you guys doing over there in Oz with the lockdowns? I hear they're lessening them now because they've realized that they just have to live with the virus. Good to have you, brother. Outside of my wheelhouse, but maybe try a Filipino Facebook investment group. Yeah, I'm not sure on that just because it's a different world. Torres, as a 20-year-old, I really want to get better sleep. I go to sleep at like 2 to 3 a.m. Want to be more productive and live life. What do you recommend? You got to put your phone down. I would say 2 hours before you go to bed. Drink valerian root or take a valerian herbal pill. And then look, there's some channels on how to sleep on YouTube. You might want to check them out. Maybe get some, calming music, raindrops, ocean waves, but learning to sleep is a skill, guys. We live in a world that's technology, and all this technology fucks our brainwaves. You're not the only one, brother. If she won't let you pick her up at her house on the second date, she's married. Dump her fast. Well said. By the one fast stack Canadian. Salute the queen. Stick to a regular bedtime. Take melatonin. Yep, I've got melatonin. Work out. But most find working out in the evenings can affect their sleep. Yeah, I like to work out before noon. For me, working out later in the day gives you a lot of energy. Take melatonin and knock the screens off. The blue light from the screens are fucking everyone up. Just got back from a wedding, did an Irish goodbye. It was hard to be around that shit show. Timmy Kramer, the Forever Bachelor. How was it, brother? Kicking it, you're just looking at your friend getting married, just shaking your head. You were there for the food. I'll repeat myself, Rad. Men are a necessity, not a luxury, says Lisa Smith. Thanks. Your husband is definitely lucky to have a woman like you. Lisa Smith of the 1% to 2%. Lamont, you have to deal with women on your own terms. Abso-fucking-lutely. Guys, MGTOW is about how you move forward by allowing men and women. You could have dipshit friends that are toxic. Cut them out of your life. Cut the people out of your life that don't bring value. And that includes women. Deal with women that support you. And if you find a woman that will be your co-pilot, scratch your back, make you food, be with you, always be by your side, great. I am not opposed to that. I'm opposed to the 98% that seek attention and validation because they'll seek it from somebody else. Rick in the house from Vegas. Salute, Rad. Vegas is cool right now. It's cooling down, brother. Damage, debt, and DNA. These women are not worth it. I'm going to have to say you're 98% right. When you realize even your mom was the typical female, displaying the typical female mindset and can accept it, your red pill has been ingested and absorbed. Carl, laying it down to Chinatown, brother. Good to have you in the chat. Carl's got experience. He's been married as well. EC, the virus has made things boring for a guy going his own way. Well, that's why you've got to get out. You've got to find ways to be by yourself. It's made life very difficult for people. I will not argue with that statement. So you got to figure out a way how, build yourself up during these times. And if anything, the virus or the Rona should have made people really reflect from an internal perspective. How can I be a better person? You can't see people. Remember, 18 months ago, you weren't seeing friends. Everybody's locked down, right? That should have made you even more stronger on the internal. And maybe that's what it needs to do. Robert's in the house. Good evening and good to see you, brother. Great message earlier on chasing excellence. I thought about that riding up the hill, Robert. It was a 7-mile ride up. Oh, man, difficult. The last 3 miles full of rocks and steep climbs. But you know what? I was alone with my headset, listening to Guns N' Roses all the way to the top. Did not stop. And I felt great. At my age, 49, I was hauling ass probably like a 26-year-old. Still felt good. Good to have you, brother. Always a pleasure to have Robert in the chat. Rad, I went to California. It seems like everybody's just clones of each other. Same outfits, same cars, same lingo. Was it like that back then? There's a hive mentality. There's a hive mentality growing up with me as well. Be yourself. Be yourself. That's all I say. Ashwagandha, valerian root, chamomile, meditate. There you go. All the way from Jay Alua, giving some great advice. Working out and balanced diet will help sleep better. It did it for me, mighty spirit. Good diet's good. Did you grow up with Kim Rhodes? I know she's an actress from Portland, Taurus. I grew up in Beaverton. How old is Kim Rhodes? That sounds familiar. I knew a guy named Kevin Rhodes. He was my year in high school. But sounds familiar. I wonder what show she's on. Really, the last famous actress that came out of Portland, she's about 6 years younger than me, is Katie. What the fuck is her name? She's on Battlestar Galactica. I'll have to figure it out. She went to my ex-wife's high school. Father Saunders on a Saturday with vodka and OJ. This is great. Love it, brother. Father Saunders is a vet, guys. He's been through the shit show as well. Divorced kids. We all get here somehow. We all get through life. We all understand each other somehow. Good to have you, brother. Check out Father Saunders' channel. You need to update that as well. I'm nowhere near perfect. I just try to be a good co-pilot. And yes, KC is Central Time. Well, Lisa, you're probably a great. You understand what lane you're supposed to be in, and that's important. And men should too. And I don't say not all. Just because you're a man doesn't mean you're great, right? There's a lot of douchebag men. If a man really understands his role, which is a protector and provider, he wants a woman that can be the co-pilot. And there's nothing wrong with that. My mom's been the co-pilot since 1967 when they got married. Did they fight when I grew up? Absolutely. Human nature is human nature, but she stood by my dad. I remember I would say, Dad, I want to spend the night with Carl, my friend Carl. He'd say, go ask your mom. She says, okay, I'm good. I'd say it to my mom, 2 weeks later. I want to spend the night with Mike. Go ask your dad. They were always on the same page. So good for you, Lisa. Taking the red pill means realistically eliminating 70% of the people you know. Absolutely. And that can include family members. Just learn how to be a sheeple and keep your mouth shut and smile. Once you take this, I've lost multiple friends over it, and good friends. Yeah, it gets lonely. But you know what? Who's going to get you through it? You. You are going to get you through it. As Gen X, we're conditioned the hardest of most, if not all gens, on many things. Breaking it has been difficult over the years. Yeah, I'm Gen X. Damn right. Well said, brother. Well said. Thanks for the authenticity and your work, SH. Thanks for being here as well, brother. Your comments are important as well. Zero Cool 527 in the house. Good to see you. Darlen Peña Pociano. Hey, Rad, which are your thoughts on this worldwide fear of getting old without a wife, husband? All that is programming. Why is it people are afraid of being alone as worldwide culture? It's all programming. It's all bullshit. You were born alone, you'll die alone. You drive your car alone. You go to work by yourself. Are the people that you work with friends of yours? No, you didn't. They weren't friends of yours when you started working. You didn't know them. It's all bullshit. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. She's 52. Kim Rhodes. God, she's what, 3 years older than me? I'll have to check her out. Shall I chat my ex and ask her about why you're fine? No. Why? Do not give her attention. She let you go, brother. She let you go. Going back to your ex is not recommended on Rad's channel. It places you below her. She'll make your life more miserable and treat you worse if you take her back. This is Halloween. When I bulk, the only carb I eat are Twizzlers. Chocolate ones, brother, or the multi-rainbow ones. I think Gen X was led to believe that what one's parents, certainly grandparents, had was something you could achieve. How sadly things have changed, Carl. Yeah, I think you're right. Carl's Gen X. Yeah, absolutely. We live in a different time now, We live in a different time. Very few relationships have succeeded. I think a lot of relationships in the 70s, if your parents are in their 70s, most likely, I'd say 80% are still married. Are they happy? Probably not. They just weather the storms and they have respect for one another. I would rather take respect over happiness at this point in my life. And I think my dad would as well. My mother respects my dad. Are they in love? I doubt it. But they respect each other. They respect what they've been through. That, to me, would be the most important. How do you become more disciplined? That's something I'm struggling with. Well, you need to make the decision. That's as simple as that. Once you decide, your mind will go to great lengths to make that decision a reality. Simple as that. Try it. How to be a bad boy that women love without being an evil dude? Tell them no. Tell them no. Tell them to beat it. You got to be like Fonzie, right? The CBF, what up to you, brother? Where are you at? Where are you at, CBF? Carl is not wrong. Your post is correct about getting rid of 70%. I'd say it's even more than that. What sucks is that I wanted to believe what I was told. It seemed so great to look forward to. Well, we all did. Father Sonner brings up a great point. It's programming, We believe we'd find a wonderful woman that would stand by us and be together. We'd raise a family and everything would be great. And that might have worked in the 40s or the 50s and possibly the 60s. But it doesn't work after the 70s. For very, very, very rare. 1% to 2%. And I don't even know if marriage for the 1% to 2% are at that statistic. Every man should have physical strength, assertive communication, emotional resilience, financial acumen, effective networking, physical presence, continued education, survival. Yeah, absolutely. Well said. Laying it down in Chinatown. Mr. J. Olua. So you want to change yourself to receive fleeting validation. At SH? Yeah, we don't need women's validation. We need our own validation. And have a good group of guys that if you are having a tough day, you can call them up and they'll talk you through it. I had 2 friends that would talk me through it if I was feeling down 6 years ago. Say, hey man, I'm feeling down. My buddy in Vegas would say, what the F's wrong with you? Within 3 minutes, it was like my medication. And men help men, okay? We don't need the validation of a woman. It's just different. Just different. Men need men. Women need to talk to their women friends, if they have decent women friends. Shall I trust a maritime attorney to take on my father's insurance dispute and let its colleague? I don't know. That's a very good question. You might want to talk to your attorney and see what he says. Could be a good way to go. That new movie of The Sopranos, Tony as a kid, teenager, is really good, called The Many Saints of Newark. Just shows how women want men with power. EC. Power and status, brother, is what they seek. Lots of folks say many things about Red Pill. I want to say one thing about Red Pill. It's the transition from fantasy to reality. Ooh, 100%, brother. That's what we're talking about. The fantasy is not and will never be the reality. Guys don't get that. I have a buddy that's 60 years old. On his second marriage, he's still believing in the fantasy, and even though she's dumped him 3 times. The reality trumps the fantasy 100% of the time. Suggested books, The Way of the Superior Man. I've read it. 12 Rules of Life. I think, is that 12 Rules by Jordan Peterson? No More Mr. Nice Guy, Robert Glover. Read it, still have it. 30 Days to Understand the Bible, Lost Connections, His Needs, Her Needs, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Great book selection there, brother. CM Punk, my cousin got married in April 2021, got divorced in July. Gee, 3 months. And it was sad because he thought he found the one after years. Happens. That shit happens, man. All right, who we got here pulling shit? I dated a 45-year-old single mother, not worth it. They're already molded and conditioned by the previous ex's trauma, and wounds will keep reappearing. More issues than a fashion magazine, Rick, right? Yeah, for me personally, it was about 80% family, friends, and coworkers. The lie we were told was so idealistic, we couldn't see the opportunistic nature of women, right? Understand female nature, guys, and navigate life accordingly. You're right, Rad. I need to update and continue my channel, but it's difficult to have topics that haven't been beat to death or portrayed in a way superior to what I could do. We'll see, and thank you. You have a voice, and your voice should be great. And it's just your experience. Whatever you say will be of value. How about that? That's why I'm staying mysterious in Facebook. Always only me, privacy status, and keeping hidden. Well, there's nothing wrong with that. If I could turn back the clock, I think I'd still be a starter on the football team, but the ladies wouldn't have anything to do with me. Now look at you now, Timmy, and look at them. The CBF, Louisiana. Are you in the Baton Rouge, the Biara, or the New Orleans? Dick Ford, in my case, it was 100% can't count on anyone but yourself. I hate everyone the same. No fixing that. Well, I think you just said the truth. You got to count on yourself. You got to count on yourself. If you could go back in time when you were 21 and you had the option to leave the U.S. and never come back, would you? And where would you go? I would probably go either to Mexico or Colombia, and I would do that. And that time machine is going to show up sometime. Timmy, if I could turn back the clock, I would not have been women's emotional tampon telling me all the things they wanted, which I had while they got blown out by the guy they said they didn't want. Father Saunders. I think that's, I just think that's reality. I just, we all have done that. We all have tried to put ourselves on the back burner to either make a relationship or make our loved one, who was female, could have been a wife or a girlfriend, happier. And that didn't turn out well. Also, red pill is hardest pill to digest. We must do it, folks. It's hard because we're programmed not to believe it. Marcella N in the house. What are you doing up so late? It's almost 11 o'clock, Marcella. Good girl. Always appreciate Marcella's comments. She's just down the road from me. EC, you need to take your 6-year-old buddy hiking with you. Perhaps he is bored. Guys, there's nothing better than being in nature by yourself. Put some sunflower seeds, some beef jerky, water, an apple, a granola bar, and just go have fun. Eddie A, just tuned in. Good to see you, brother. Have a whiskey, boys, and enjoy freedom. Would that be an Irish whiskey, like a Jameson or Bushnell's, or an American whiskey, or maybe a Canadian whiskey? Jeremy Bailey still watching. What does Jeremy say? Is Jeremy going to go with Johnny Walker? Rad, have you watched It's Complicated channel? Outstanding questions and highlights how women get trapped in their double standards. I have not, but I'll check it out, Carl. And I will return and report. Just Google Father Saunders. I think you can go to my channel and look at my subscriptions because Timmy, I subscribe to all my subscribers. Illustrates the complete shit show of a gynocracy we live in. Now remember, I say 98% of women are not recommended. Okay, I give a 1 to 2%. I'm not a fatalist. 1 to 2% of women are decent. I have them in my channel. We're talking to them tonight. I've met a couple of them. And, it's reality. I'm not going to be 100% all women are horrible. 98% of women that I believe in this world are not recommended. Now that leaves 70 million women that are. Okay. You can find them, but it's difficult. Keep your expectations low for now. Most of it is from 2013. That said, I'm going to give revising my channel some serious thought. You should. You got a voice. You know what? As Greg Adams says, there's a lot of creators that get canceled. We need more and more flavors of vanilla. That's, if you think about it, they say there's so much red pill knowledge and it's all the same story. You know what? It's the same topics in different flavors. Okay? And we need everyone to continue to help men have better lives by navigating this world, by understanding what the red pill offers. The red pill is basically saying the fantasy that we were born with and taught to endure and to seek is not real. You know, the kids that are 20 and 21, young, you better be listening right now because your life will be amazing. Well, can you imagine being 50 years old going through a divorce? Don't do it. Don't do it. 13 Rhett 91. Good to have you. Where are you from, brother? Timmy Kramer, FS, Father Saunders. A lot of friends are pretty hopeless with their situation. I think they should listen to your streams. Well, we don't recruit. You know, men and boys and young men your age need to find this on their own. They won't believe it. But, you know, you CM Punk, you're way ahead of the game. Ask Timmy Kramer. Timmy's 56. I'm 49. One Fast Dak is 47. I think MGTOW Cowboy's in his late 30s or early 40s. Carl's at my age. You know, what if we were 21? Jeez. If I was 21, if I had to do it all over again, and if I was just out of high school, you know what I would do? I'd work for a year or two. At that point, geez, it was at $5 an hour for minimum wage. I try to save about 5 to 10 grand and go travel. Go see people, go understand the world. Go from there. I would not get in relationships. And then I would come back because education is not going anywhere. You don't need to go and rush into it. But I would probably get into insurance because insurance, I got buddies that are my age that they don't work. They haven't worked for 15 years. They worked their asses off for the first 15 years out of high school, and now they don't work. Why are there so many women who are narcissistic, selfish, shallow, vain, and unable to care for others or even their own self? I think the modern day hive-minded thinking through social media, through technology has really pushed it to that level. This red pill stuff is like a superpower. The feminine BS doesn't bother me. I live my best life. Good for you, brother. SH. I'm from Ohio, the Midwest. Columbus, Cuyahoga Falls. What part? We need all your voices. Yes, we do. Every one of you should be putting a channel up. I don't care if you have one video or a million videos. Get your information up. Share with others what your life experience has been. I've been married twice. One was super loving to me, and the other was a bust. I didn't appreciate my first wife. My second didn't appreciate marriage is just a fantasy. Well, at least you figured it out soon. There's still guys that get married. They're on their third or fourth. New Orleans, man, ever since I started ignoring this woman, now she starts, well, there you go. Remove your attention and they seek it. It's the CBF. He just found the code. Good for you. You guys need to post your content. Cincinnati region. I remember going to the Cincinnati boardwalk over by the Hooters on Cincinnati. Flew into Cincinnati, went to Kentucky, Louisville. I didn't do a Kentucky trip. But there's a Hooters on the river and an aquarium. You know what I'm talking about? Lisa Smith. My first minimum wage job in the 80s was, I think I was the same one. I worked at Discount Tire Center for $3.35. I was putting studs in the tires for the winter tires. You know, they have those metal studs. Oh, that job sucked. I don't even think it was $3.30. I think it was $3.15 an hour. But yeah, I think we're the same year. I volunteered tonight. Siat says, good to see you, brother, with a group of parents, and I got shit tested multiple times from a wench. Ooh, par for the course. I never said a word to her, and she wants to interrogate me and throw shade my way. That doesn't surprise me. She's probably looking for your attention. Mighty Spirit, well said on the red pill, man. Womanism equal. Yeah, female nature on steroids. It has not helped modern day women. Why women hate when you reject them before they dump you, and when you disappear, all of a sudden they can't handle rejection. You just labeled it. If you don't respond to a woman and they feel rejected, it really, because today's world is based on attention and validation for 98% of women. And so when they're rejected, they go nuts. Now, a hot chick that's walking in a restaurant or a mall gets a lot of attention. The guy that doesn't give her attention is where she seeks her attention. Why isn't that guy looking at me? Why doesn't he like me? All the other guys like me. They're whistling. They're trying to talk to me. I remember going out with a gal. She's from Arizona, actually. She told me, very, very attractive, 10 years younger. And I said, tell me about the guy that you really liked. She goes, this guy I liked so much. He never gave me attention. In fact, he rejected me. And 2 years later, she's still missing the guy. And she only went on a date like 4 times with him. It's the guys that don't give him attention are the women's muse. So there you go. You're talking about the Newport Levee. Never been to the aquarium before, but I heard it's cool. I think you're right. I don't understand how a man could reveal his financial information to a woman. Pure effing insanity. Guys, there's certain things you need to be secretive about. Let them think you make nothing. The Millionaire Next Door is a book that was written in the 90s. Read it. It's about these millionaires that drive 10-year-old Ford Explorers. They don't flash their money, but at the end of the day, nobody knows what they're worth. They live under the radar. Exactly what Timmy's talking about. My first was $4.25 and $95. Man, it only went up, 90 cents? EC, oh yeah, never marry a hot girl with low self-esteem. I used to leave work and then have to put in more work just to keep her validated. Yeah, it's tough. Validation, man. Attention is their currency, but drama is their drug. Think about that. For the 98%, all right? I don't say all women are like that. 98%. Kevin Sandler's question to a woman: name me one thing that I want that you haven't given to another man. Watch the spaghetti brain in action. I've watched a lot of his stuff. And you know what's great? He calls them out. He holds them accountable. Whether they take accountability or not is their issue. Are they going to change? No. Maybe 1% will change and listen to him, but the majority won't. In the military, you essentially wear your pay grade on your collar. Lisa Smith. There you go. Women need attention like junkies need heroin, the CBF. Well, attention and validation is their currency. It's as simple as that. When you don't give them validation or attention, they seek it. Guys are like, how do I get a girl's attention? Don't give her your attention. If you give her attention, she's bored. The majority. Marcella, why do women think it's okay to ask a man how much he makes? God forbid you ask these same women how much they weigh or how old they are hypocrites. Well, Marcella is 100% correct right there. 100% correct. Yeah. I think there's a power play that's in place, right? Marketing did a lot of damage to women, took them out of the home to work just to keep up with the Joneses, one fast act. And where it has gotten them? Nowhere. I'm all about, hey, if a woman wants to make money, great. It's great. I don't have a problem with that. You know, people say, don't give them the right to vote. You know, we ain't going back. You know, it really, the United States was basically landowners could vote. And then it went to non-landowner. You know, so if you really think about it, the people that own land and real estate should be the ones that vote. They're the ones that put their skin in the game. So you're right, one fast act. By the way, I'm really missing Coffee Crisp and Mr. Biggs. And ketchup potato chips. Ketchup potato chips in Canada are the best. But I don't like kokanee. Lisa Smith laying it down with Marcella. Father Saunders, I hate, what do you do? I say one of two things. Why? So you can act like you give a shit? Or why? You determining how much respect to give me based on employment? I hate that. It's just sizing you up. And it's, you know, it's if you look at it, it's not their fault. It's just their programming. It's no different than Sims program to worship the women that walk in front of them. It's just programming. Once you wake up, doesn't matter anymore. Right? Woo! Hi, Rad. I'm an automotive enthusiast. I see you shoot in a car a lot. Which one is it? It's a 2014 Toyota 4Runner Limited. I bought 3 years old. Love it. Hauls my bikes and hauls my ass and has a great sound system. Would be better if we vote on ideas instead of politicians that can betray you at any moment. Politicians should have term limits. All of them. Especially, excuse me, especially in the U.S. There's Joe Biden has been in politics for 47 effing years. He should only have been in politics for 5 to 8 years max. He's done nothing. Any recommendation on getting out of the rat race and avoiding the ever rampant affirmative action-based hiring for women? You know what? Painting houses, being a truck driver, doing things that women don't want to do. Yeah, I would. If you can work for yourself, do it. That's what I'd say. 13 Ret 91. The Two Income Trap is another great book. It was written by Elizabeth Warren before she got into politics. Elizabeth Warren, Pocahontas, what are you talking about? Yeah, I mean, it used to be the husband took care of the finances by working, and then supposedly womanism got involved, became a two-party system, and it hasn't done well. Very, very rare areas can now you need to have two incomes if you're raising kids. Look at history, folks. Look at history. It's only been in the last 45 to 50 years that two-income household. Actually, my dad worked in the 80s. My mom never worked. But let's say the last 30 years where two-income houses have been, par for the course. And for the last 10,000 years, it was the man that worked. I don't know. Maybe I'm being stupid or something. Joe Thursday. I love it. Humans create misery. The end. Joe, I'm not going to disagree with you. These 100-year-old politicians are killing this country. Absolutely. Okay, Lisa, the worst is the damn FRG crowd. Talk about a shit show. Spouses wearing their other's rank. It's laughable. I just saw... Yeah, it's very interesting to see what what's happening to our armed forces. Only big companies are winning with the two-income system. Yes, they are. And so is the tax authority. What's sad is how far women have fallen, and yet men are willing to lap it up anyway. A good friend who got divorced is all about chasing the peace leave to show he can still pull chicks. Pure validation. Yeah. Ego problems. A lot of these guys want to pull a ton of ass and to show that they still got it. But in the end, where does their power go? It doesn't lie within them. They put their power based on an external validation, either from their friends who are like, hey, good for you, you just nailed another chick, or from women that are lining up. Dig fart. Don't waste your time, fellas. Time is your most valuable asset. If you want anything in life, plan for it, take care of yourself, get the best deal you can, or walk away. Those are very wise words, brother. Dick, where are you from? Two income is not only the norm, but it's not nearly impossible to survive without it. You're right. Damn shame as it brought so much discord, too long to post all the ramification. I think he's absolutely right. The two-income trap has destroyed America because it took women out of the home to raise their kids, and it put them in the pilot position that they could, I don't need no man. It broke that narrative. Either blue-collar gig or work on acquiring a high-in-demand skill, lead gen, which allows you to be compensated for your skill rather than trading time for money. I just think Jaya Alua laid it down. Don't trade your hours for money. Figure out how to trade your skills for money. If all this information was available back in '89, I would have never asked my ex. I think you'd have a lot of people on that train, brother. Military spouses, primarily wives, often let their husband's rank go to their head. That was the most asinine behavior I saw in posts. The kids weren't much better. Well said, Lisa. Bo Mayer in the house, dropping truth bombs. Good to see you, brother. Sadly, walking away is the ability that few men have. I wish more brothers woke up. It's hard for men to walk away if they've got an investment. Two-income homes, kids are being raised at a daycare without values. Yeah, someone else is raising them. Then they come home. Nobody really knows each other until the weekends. The parents are excited to get back to work because they don't like to, give 100%. Because the daycare raises them. After you've got 20 or 30, some say 50 lay count, it's all the same. Tell your friend it's not worth the square. Yeah, I think you're right. Guys think they should have a lay count of like 1,400. It's like, come on, really? That's going to mess. A guy having tons of women under his belt, I don't think does a guy well. That's just my personal opinion. Not as bad as a woman, but it still doesn't help a man. Just learn that women operate differently than men. Solipsism and short-term thinking rule their decision-making. Solipsism, guys, you got to check that out. That's real. Women today spend more time selecting their stepdaddy than they did their baby daddy. Ooh, love it. I think you're absolutely right about that, Carl. The baby daddy is the most important man in her life, but she's checking out a stepdaddy that has no biological tie. Yeah, it's nuts. It's really nuts where we're at today. And a lot of those women end up on Kevin Samuel's show. This is Halloween. I can't shake the idea of wifing a chick up that chose you and she just doesn't work as a stay-at-home mom. Go figure. Yeah, you're right. Different world we live in, folks. Different world we live in. Focus on yourself. How can you be your better version of yourself tomorrow, the next day? Are you going to continue to give validation to and attention to your ex, to women that disrespect you? Or are you going to put the attention and validation into yourself? I'm going to say it again. I'm 100% fatalist in that. If you put all of your energy in making yourself a better person, you'll have a better life. Simple as that. If you put a woman central to your life, you are going to be miserable. If you put her as a complement of the 1% to 2%, good. Good. Modern feminism has allowed women to sidestep the consequence of operating in this world with no forward planning. Damn, Bomer, laying it down. Love it. Investments get men tied up with women, hence invest wisely. Invest your time and your emotions and your mental faculties as well. The term stepfather should be illegal in no relationship to the kid. Yeah, absolutely. Polako Kusabi, the most important moment in a man's life is when the logic of his big head overrides the lust of his little head. At that point, he is free. Well said. Damn. Polako, where are you from? That's a great quote, by the way. A great comment. Agree with you, Rad. Too many lays takes you away from your purpose because you got to invest too much of your energy and resources. Well, it puts the focus on a woman. That's or women, which removes the focus on you. That's as simple as that. I keep feeding him trinkets of red pill truth, but he's so indoctrinated into thinking his self-worth is based on who he's with. He'll learn. We don't recruit. As Hammerhand has said, we don't recruit. He'll eventually figure it out, or he won't. And we have to respect him for that. I live in PA, Mid-Atlantic, United States. While we can still call it that, been MGTOW for years. Dick, good to have you. Spent a lot of time in Collegeville and King of Prussia in Philly. The thought of our kids being raised in daycare scared the shit out of me. Some of these women are in the pink pea-sleeve hats. I agree. You think public education is indoctrinating? Check out daycare. Well said, Lisa. The base drive of sex has been hijacked. Sex for entertainment or even a short-term satisfaction has to be removed from a man's goals. Absolutely. One fast stack, I can explain it to you, but I can't understand it for you. Ooh. Well said. Greetings from Phoenix. Love your work, my friend. I'm glad you're here. We got Timmy Kramer from Phoenix. Who else is from Phoenix? There's a bunch there's like probably 10, 15 that frequent this channel. Phoenix for 300 Trebek. Good to have you. MGTOW doesn't recruit. We welcome those who have learned to see the truth for what it really is. It's understanding that the reality is not the fantasy. If people say, Rad, what's your version of MGTOW and Red Pill? It's subscribing to the reality and not the fantasy of life. And that goes to relationships, government, education, religion, career, hobbies, hive-minded thinking, and I can go on. It wakens you up to question, was what I taught the reality or the fantasy? That's what MGTOW to me is. And then it's navigating your life by understanding it. Once you understand it, you can make a better life for yourself. No longer are you going to put energy into something that doesn't give you a return on investment. You don't invest in stocks to lose. You invest in stocks to gain. You invest in women to gain, not to lose. But the reality is not the fantasy. Be very, very careful, friends. Wasn't the TS story time happened at daycare so horrifying? I think you're right, Brother Robert. I think you're right. TS story time for 300 Trebek. Beaumare, I am beginning to believe that early societies have learned their lessons about female decision processes through repeated failure. They organize their societies to eliminate it from power structure. I'm going to say you're right in a lot of the greatest civilization of all time was the Roman Empire. And what happened there? Liberalism and feminism infiltrated it. Now, feminism wasn't the same, but female power infiltrated it. Liberalism infiltrated it. Divorce. We talked about Constantine and Theodosius. They would allow women to divorce men in those times, but on very grave causes. They had to prove that. But when Justinian took over, he allowed divorce to happen rampantly, which, call it what you will, but that was liberalism. That was the beginning of liberalism 2,000 years ago. So I think you're absolutely right about that. Everyone should start mowing and chewing on Fallon gum to improve their facial aesthetics. We're all going to make it. Oh, interesting. I know there's like a little rubber deal you can deal with that makes your jaw, like works your facial muscles. I don't know what you call it, MD, but I know it's out there. Men who consistently seek female validation are hustling backwards. Hopefully he snaps out of it sooner than later. We're all on our own journey. Appreciate all your input. I think you're right. Chasing women puts you on the back seat. Are you in the driver's seat or the back seat? Because if a woman's in the driver's seat, you're in the back seat. It's sad that women see the top 10% of men who don't want to commit because of their multiple options. Instead of seeing they're the only ones choosing these men, yet men are all painted the same. Hive mind thinking for 300 Trebek. Carl is laying it down in Chinatown. What should I do after taking the red pill and accepting MGTOW, job, career, hobby? It depends. Do you have kids? If you have no kids, I tell guys this all. I have talked to guys that have called me on the phone. They're like, well, I have no idea what to do. Do you have kids? Nope. You ever been married? Nope. Do you have a degree? Nope. What's your job? I work at Amazon or I work at Walmart. You know what? Go get a truck driving career and drive a truck for 18 months. You'll stack up a ton of money and you'll learn a lot about life. That's what I say. Once you're done, go start a painting business, go start a tile business, go learn a skill. Search for truth and meaning for yourself, says Raymond Carr. You won't be here in 100 years, so don't waste your time on nonsense. Wow. Powerful. Don't waste your time chasing tail. Do you understand chasing tail means the tail is away from you? Men don't understand that. The PUA guys, oh, I can use frame and some sort of pickup line to get chicks. Really? That still puts women in the driver's seat. Are you in the back seat or the driver's seat? Ask yourself that damn question. Liberalism is just intellectual laziness, not taking consequence to its end before making decisions. 100%. I would say, Beaumare, that liberalism is basically using feelings to navigate life. Feelings, nothing more than feelings. That was a song in the 80s. Government wants to take over daycare, make it free with the new bill. I see inequality, if any, taking a dive. Oh, absolutely. If the government gets involved, it's over. The government can't even run the post office or Amtrak. It's called jaw size and will damage your jaw in the long run. Oh, okay. Lose weight. And do neck exercises. Really. I mean, do farmer's carries at the gym. Truck driving has made me an absolute obscene amount of money. Oh, absolutely. If I had no kids, I was 28 with really no career, no degree, I would get into trucking. Number one, you can sleep in your cab, you have no rent, see the world, make a shit ton of money, work hard, listen to red pill content all day, maybe have an internet channel, and go from there. And then after 2 years, if you're tired of it, You got 150 grand in cash that you can go start a business. A painting business is a great business. You can start a painting business for $2 grand. A couple of ladders, a paint sprayer, some tools, and you can make 6 to 9 grand on a house. You paint 20 of them in the summer, you're dope. And then in the winter, you do interior. I did it. And a year after age 10 was simply overkill Joe Thursday. Yeah. You're not going to argue there. Walmart and Amazon pay good. In-N-Out Burger is paying $18.50 an hour to flip burgers. Minimum wage is $7.20. Is it $7.25 or $7.75? Crazy. Many who think procreation will ensure their legacy in 3, maybe 2 generations. No one will know who you are or care other than you are a relative. I love it, Carl. My jaws are amazing. Means nothing. 6-pack, 6 figures, 6 houses. Guys, to me, it's confidence. It's simple as that. I'm not over 6 foot. It's as simple as that. Getting chicks is a numbers game. The rest of the stuff out there is just trying to get your money to buy their program. Dating was commercialized. Something normal becomes dysfunctional. We the people. Laying it down to Chinatown. Love it. The U.S. government was in charge of the Sahara Desert. There would be a shortage of sand. I don't think that's far from the truth, brother. What do you think of doing seasonal work, like working at national parks? Do what makes you happy. Men are minimalists. We can live on very little. That's what I tell you. What's your fire number, Rad? Is it incredible how little money a single man needs? No, we don't need a lot, guys. A ham sandwich, a soda pop, a nice pair of shoes, decent pillow, and you're happy. Liberal mindset, giving people victim mindset. They don't want to be strong and achieve their ground in life. They are obsessed with portraying how oppressed they are, hence they are only living a gloomy life. Mighty Spirit, laying it down in Chinatown. Love it. You guys have been great. It's been a great live stream. Love to hear your comments. But I am tired, and we'll catch you guys soon. Rebel against defeat, chase excellence, masculinity, and men first. And a shout out to Hunter. Good to see you. Bo Mayor, I looked into the park situation. The problem is that there is no guarantee where you will be assigned and what the job will require. You guys have been great. Sleep well. Check you soon.